Yo, what is going on, guys? We are finally back for another tier list, the most anticipated, highly requested video on my channel. I apologize for slacking on it. Usually, at the start of a new year, I like to kind of like overhaul the entire list, the way that I'm looking at the game at the start of a new year, and that's just a much bigger undertaking than an average month update. So, like, I was just kind of putting off the work for a while. But finally, I got to today. I was feeling very productive today. I got a lot done. And finally, just dove into the tier list head first. And I'm really, really happy with how it's looking. So, really, really excited for today. But before we get into anything, we definitely have some disclaimers. So, first disclaimer is, like I said, I reworked the bulk of the list. So, it's going to be looking a lot differently. And it's a lot of my own opinion right now on how I'm looking at the game at the start of 2025 in March. But all that means is that for the rest of 2025, you guys are going to be helping me get it looking perfect with our community opinion. I need you guys' comments to help me make it better. So this is, the rough start to the year. It's only going to improve. So if something looks a little bit out of whack right now, like, Lagacy, how do you have that champion there? Well, help me. Write a comment. Just all I ask is just be respectful, and we'll get the list looking better and better. We have a couple emojis to go through. So the flexing mechanical robot flexing arm is they want to be awakened. The shield is high defensive prowess. The little graph chart going up is they want those sig levels. Ideally max sig, the higher the sig the better, but yeah, ideally max sig. The little ninja cat here is that this champion, it's not just easy to pick up and start playing. It takes some skill, takes some practice. Then we have the stone face, powerful relic. Every single champion benefits from having a relic, but some champions, you get a really big benefit. Then we have the little skull here. It just means ouchies friendly. The recoil masteries used to be called the suicide masteries. That's what that means. And then here we have the lock. We have the lock. So this means a champion is rarity locked. They're not available as a 7-star. Now, not every single champion on the list that doesn't exist as a 7-star has this. It's the important ones that are locked out of being a 7-star, usually for a reason, because they're so powerful. Like, if there's a terrible champion, that's not a 7-star, they probably don't have the lock if they're in one of the bottom 2 tiers. But yeah, so this is a new emoji. Before I've had this, but it was only for 5 stars. But now 6 stars are important, and there's a reason, because we added a new tier, which is the one above all tier, and there is a rule for this tier. No 6 stars, no 5 stars allowed. If they don't exist as a 7-star, they're not allowed in this tier. Why? Why is that? Because that's the way the game is moving. The biggest example of this is with the brand new content, the ordeal. And this is bound to happen as the game goes on. The ordeal. What can you bring into the ordeal? 7 stars. That's it. You cannot bring in any 6 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars. No. Only 7 stars. So if there's starting to be content where you have to be a 7-star, that is going to be starting to be reflected in this tier list. 7 stars are the future of the game. So if a champion does not exist as a 7-star, they simply cannot be in the absolute highest tier because they can't be used in all content in the first place. So that is why I felt the need to create this little lock emoji for the list. So that is all of our disclaimers. Let's go ahead and get into the brand new additions on the list. Alright guys, so starting us off with our first 2025 champion that we're going to be talking about on the list in the new year, and that is Gentle. So the brand new mutant. And so Gentle is landing in our amazing tier. Now, our new tiers are the following. The lowest is mid-tier, because that's one of the favorite words in our community. Oh, that champion is so mid. So that is the bottom tier. Not to say, like, this is the worst tier, but that doesn't mean the champions are absolute garbage. It's not a garbage tier, it's a mid-tier. Mid typically means mid-range. So then we have the solid tier. These are solid champions. They can do stuff. Then we have the amazing tier. These champions are amazing. They can do lots and lots of good stuff. Then we have the god tier, the OG top tier of the old tier lists. These are truly next level champions, extremely, extremely powerful. But then you ramp it up, you get to the Beyonder tier. These are beyond god tier. They take it a next step. These champions start to break the game. They're so crazy. Kabam doesn't even want to release them as 7 stars. And then you have to take it one step further. the one above all, the most powerful being in the entirety of Marvel Comics, the one above all. These champions are truly above the rest. Onslaught, really, really good example here for mutants. So Gentle is landing in the amazing tier. Now, this isn't the most incredible spot for a brand new champion to land on the list. That's because Gentle, he's good, but he's definitely not a game-breaking mutant. He's not the next Onslaught. He's really nothing that special or crazy in the grand scheme of things in the game and in the mutant class, in my opinion. I did a testing stream with Gentle, and I enjoyed him. He's pretty fun to play. He's pretty good. The damage is there. He's got some immunities, immunity to bleed. You can get some stun immunity. What I really don't like about Gentle, and what most people don't like about him, is he has built-in recoil, which, is something that Black Bolt used to have for, no reason on a special 2. You take damage. Recoil already sucks. That's easily the worst part of that mastery tree, but it's required to unlock Double Edge and Liquid Courage, so you have to get recoil if you want to run those masteries. Gentle has that built in, so, I feel like that's just already going to just steer people away from this champion, and rightfully so, because you don't want to deal with it. With the Awaken ability, you can mitigate this recoil damage, reduce the health loss by finishing a special attack, max muscle mass 10 to 50%, while unstoppable damage reduction is increased 50%. So, there's ways to round it and to mitigate it and stuff, but it's just annoying to be there even in the first place, So he's a pretty solid bullseye counter, and that's kind of what Kabam is marketing him as, a good bullseye counter. But there's plenty of bullseye counters in the game now, and Gentle is not, he's not the best one, not by a lot. Mr. Sinister is easily the best bullseye counter. And, there's plenty of other great bullseye counters that you would probably be thinking about using before Gentle comes to mind. So, on this list, I was trying to be as honest and authentic as possible with every single champion placement, how I look at them and how I'm looking at the game right now. So that is where Gentle is landing in the amazing tier. Alright guys, our next champion to talk about is Okoye, who technically was the very first champion released of 2025. I just wanted to start with Gentle. But yeah, so Okoye is landing one tier above where Gentle was, into the God tier. So, I think Okoye, honestly, when both champions first came out, I watched their D-Dives, did the review and everything, I was much more excited about Gentle, and I thought he was going to be better. And it's funny how that happens, Gentle, he looks a bit better at first glance, but then Okoye, once you play her and really see what she's capable of, it's like, wow, blown away, absolutely blown away. MSD made a really great video talking about why he likes Okoye and why he isn't the biggest fan of Gentle. I highly recommend giving that a watch. Great video. And it really kind of opened my eyes to Okoye, because it can also counter Bullseye, and seemingly faster and better than Gentle does, and that's without the class advantage. That is pretty insane. So, Okoye, a parallel I like to draw with her is to Archangel. We all know Archangel, if they can be bled, if they can be poisoned, Archangel is your man, and he's gonna go crazy. So Okoye is kind of similar to that, but instead of bleed and poison, she has bleed and shock. And then a really cool thing here is you'll see I have the wants to be awakened, because with Okoye's awaken ability, top tier armament grants, she has armament hockey, literally. I'm liking her, dude. I want to get her. I have 2 skill awakening gems. I would really like to get Okoye. She's got that top tier armament hockey, grants 3 ranks of deep wounds mastery, which is enhanced to also include shock debuffs and inflict shock. So, inflict instant shock. So, that's amazing. Their deep wounds is really cool because it enhances bleeds, but Kabam is scared to release new masteries. But it'd be so cool if there's masteries to increase, shock, poison, cold snap, incinerate, all the other damage over time, but there's not. So to have this built in to her kit with the deep, I really like that. I'm a big fan of that. So you definitely want to get her awakened. She has a very, very solid evade counter, and man, if they can be bled, if they can be shocked, you just stack up so many debuffs, and there's just so much damage output. It's incredible. However, I do have one negative thing to say about Okoye, and this is all on Kabam, 100% on Kabam, not on the champion herself. But recently there was a bug fix, I guess kabam, we'll call it, with Okoye, that she was able to evade Photon's special attacks in pure light form. So she was able to do that when she came out. And now they recently fixed it so that she can't do that. I guess she wasn't supposed to, but she was doing it. Now, the problem with this and why it's on kabam is because they weren't really great about the comms on this. And so what happened was, even, I'm sure there's multiple cases of this, but even in my own alliance, for that war, when it happened, we had already assigned Okoye to fight a Photon mini-boss with this interaction in mind. And once that interaction had changed, it basically turned the assignment into a death. And the player had already joined war with Okoye too. So, yeah, that's like the only negative thing I have to say about her. Landing in God tier, great place to start on the list. Honestly, I was considering putting her even higher, but gotta pace myself, and I definitely want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions to weigh in on these new champions. So we can look at when we come back for the April tier list, we can reconvene on Okoye and on Gentle. I really would appreciate your guys' thoughts and opinions and feedback in the comments on these two champions. Which tiers do you think they belong in? Do you think Gentle was perfect for the amazing tier? Do you think Okoye belongs in God tier? Do you think she should go higher? Let me know. All right, let's go move on to February champions now. All right, guys, this next champion, I don't even really want to talk about. It's Joaquin, Torres, Falcon. So I have a bold prediction that this is going to be the lowest debut on the tier list, maybe all year. I would wager at least for the first half of the year, but maybe for the whole year, which really sucks. We're in 2025 now. We've had already some really cool champions come out, but yet then we got this guy, and he doesn't feel like a 2025 champion. He doesn't feel like a new champion. Joaquin, Torres, Falcon, supposed to be a bit of an Enchantress counter, and Enchantress is a menace. She definitely needs a counter. But, he definitely doesn't feel like a hard counter to her. He has some slow, which is good, because she has Unstoppable. But Enchantress also has Miss, for example. And this Falcon doesn't have the means to counter Miss. So there's plenty parts of Enchantress's kit that he's not that good against. And the damage isn't that good. The utility's not that good, especially in the science class. The best class in the game. The most competitive, in my opinion, in my eyes. There's so much going on in the science class, and there's so much you can bring to the table. This guy is just extremely, extremely disappointing. Honestly, he might even be in the mid tier. This might have been generous. Yeah. I think that was too generous. I think he belongs in the lowest tier. I have not heard a single person hyping him up, saying good things about him. I feel like I can already guarantee that he's going to be rebalanced. I would bet good money on it that he's going to get rebalanced and he's going to get buffed. Because otherwise, it just doesn't make sense for a champion like that to come out 2025 to me, man. Especially in the science class. There's the science class, man. You get a champion like Count Nefaria, and then we get a champion like this, and it's are we playing the same game? Yeah. And it really sucks because I really enjoyed this character in the movie. He was one of the standouts for me in Captain America: Brave New World. So I honestly hope he gets rebalanced. I hope it's sick. And I also pulled him out of the Titan, which out of all the new champions in there, that was the new one that I pulled. A little unfortunate. But yeah, that is Joaquin Torres landing in the mid tier, the lowest tier for a new champion. This is bad. But of Of course, I still absolutely want your guys' feedback for the new Falcon. If there's any redeeming qualities that you guys think and he belongs maybe in the Salt tier, maybe even in the Amazing tier, go ahead and try to convince me in the comments. He is still very new. I still don't know his entire kit. I'm not the most familiarized with this champion, so I could totally be missing some things. So definitely, if you're a fan, build your case in the comments. Let me know. You can definitely move him up. There's no place to go but up for him. So yeah, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the second February champion and the much superior of the two. And that is Arnim Zola. So, dude, Arnim Zola. Let me tell you a little story. So, in my alliance, there are two big whales, Yusafa and Clown. Great guys, both good friends of mine. And so they went pretty hard in the banquet. And they earned themselves a voucher, that they could trade in for any 2025 champion. And both of my friends here traded in their voucher the moment Arnim Zola became available in game. They both traded in their voucher to get him, which should say something. Like they must think he's really good to be doing that. Not even to bother wailing for him, but just to immediately guarantee to get him. Now, when Arnim Zola first came out, he was hyped up to be a pretty big and bad defender. Now, I haven't been playing a ton of Battlegrounds, but even the amount that I've played, I really haven't seen him much. But, that was before the recent Titan. I'm sure after the Titan change, there's a lot more Arnim Zolas running around now. But the few times that I have fought him, it went well. I did have Deathless Thanos on most of them, and he's probably the best counter in the game by far, so maybe that's why. But I don't feel like Arnim Zola is as crazy of a defender as I was expecting him to be, or maybe as Kabam had kind of marketed him as, or maybe I'm a bit off base. The opinion I had of Arnim Zola, like right when he came out, would have definitely easily been a tier above this. But after having playtested him, I liked him. His playstyle is crazy, and it's great when everything lines up, but it's definitely not easy. Like, I had to play him for like a solid 10 minutes to really get a handle. And 10 minutes is a while for me to really get a handle on just getting his prime rotation down. And it was tricky. A lot of spacing had to be like kind of perfect and exactly right, and had to just play in a different way than what I'm used to. But once I understood that, again, after about 10 minutes, really figured it out kind of, and starting to steer the fight in that direction more, definitely started to go my way. But, he's definitely not just a champion you pick up and just can easily get off a perfect loop. It's difficult to line up those perfect loops, even with practice, even on Winter Soldier. It would take a couple tries to get an absolutely perfect loop set up. So, he's definitely a bit finicky on offense. And also, he needs to be max Sig to really be getting the most damage on offense. And his Sig ability here with the third bullet point, when Zola's special attacks remove its disintegration debuffs, each debuff deals a final burst of 490. So, that's Sig 1, to opposed to 987. There's a massive difference in damage. So, yeah, the Awaken ability is extremely important for offense. If you're going to be playing him, you need him to be, basically very high Sig to really be getting the most out of him in offense. So that's a pretty big investment. But just to have him as a defender, he's going to be probably fine for you, unduped or absolutely low Sig. So I like Zola. I think he's great. He's got some really solid immunities as a robot. He's got some really cool utility, being able to disable a special attack. That's definitely probably the coolest thing about this guy. Being able to special lock one or two of the opponent. It's just, we've never really seen something like that before to this scale. So I really like Arnim Zola, and I think he absolutely has potential to go to the Beyonder tier, but I couldn't do it on the debut. Like I said, he didn't land as good as I was thinking he was going to be as a defender, and he requires a lot of investment, and he's bit finicky to play on attack and to get those perfect rotations. So for all those reasons, I'm keeping him in the God tier for now. And I mean, Okoye is amazing. Like, both these champions, I feel like have great potential to go up, but just wanted to be a bit more reserved on the first tier list starting 25 and really get your guys' feedback as well, especially on these newest champions on where they should go. So both of them are landing in the God tier for now. All right, now let's go talk about the rest of the list because there is a lot to talk about, a lot of changes. Okay, so starting with the science class, dude. We have Spot, one of my favorite science champs in the whole game, leading the God tier. Then we have Human Torch just sneaking into the Beyonder tier. We have Silk. This is probably the biggest surprise on the tier list. Silk is above Spot and in the Beyonder tier. Look at me go, dude. Look at me go. Quake is up here, all locked. Scorpion up here, locked. Like I already said, in case you missed it, you know, there are no 6-star champions allowed in the one above all. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but there's only three spots in the one above all. No more than 3 champions are allowed in this list because the name is the one above all, you know. Even above 1 is kind of too many. So the cap is 3. No more than 3 allowed in this class. So here we have Count Nefaria, Photon, and Spider-Ham. These are easily the 3 best science champions in the game, in my opinion. You know, if Scorpion was a 7-star, and if Quake was a 7-star, well then we'd be having a different conversation. But with them all locked, it's these 3 for sure. Absolutely in this tier for me. You know, Photon as the best dual threat, you know, very, very powerful defender with some excellent uses on attack. Spider-Ham, an insane attacker with some great uses on defense. And Count Nefaria, just the most utility in the entire science class. Count Nefaria has the most utility out of anyone in the science class. That's a hill I'd be willing to fight and die on. Count Nefaria, you call him. He's Himothy. He's that guy. He is just insane. He's so insane. Love Count Nefaria. That is our science class. I think it's looking really good, especially the top end. The bottom end, you guys let me know. But the top end, I think, is looking great. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Cosmic class. So the Cosmic class, there's a lot of champs. The mid tier is absolutely chocked full right now. So what do we got here? We got Gallon down here, 6-star locked. Angela in the God tier. We got Adam Warlock, Null, Medusa. Medusa got a fat promotion. I think Medusa is incredible now after the buff. You know, she was already a good champion before, but man, she is so good now. You know, she has that true accuracy, which is some really great utility for her to be countering evade. The damage is just bonkers. She hits so freaking hard. She's still super annoying on defense with her auto block, man. Medusa, that buff. I have Medusa. I just need to get her awakened. I'm itching for a Cosmic Gem, but I pulled 3 tech, 2 skill, a science 1. I would love to take Medusa up. I just need a gem for her. You know, leading the God tier, we have Maestro, you know, very, very powerful defender. He's got three shields for a reason. We got Hyperion, Scream, some very, very powerful cosmic attackers here. And then, you know, leading the Beyonder tier, we have the 3 best 6-star cosmic champs in the game. Hulkling, Hercules, Cosmic Ghost Rider. These 3 are just so insane, man. But they're limited as 7 stars, and for very good reason. They'd be so game-breaking if any one of these was a 7-star. Yeah, like, I can't see any of these guys coming anytime soon. I feel like Hulkling is the most likely out of the 3, and even still, Hulkling would be just ridiculous as a 7-star. And then, so, there's a max of 3 spots in the one above all tier, but that doesn't mean all 3 spots need to be filled. So, Deathless Thanos and Serpent are in here. I think they are absolutely, without a doubt, worthy of this tier. Right now, I don't think there's another 7-star Cosmic Champion in the game that's worthy of this spot. There's no one on the caliber of Serpent and Deathless Thanos currently in the 7-star Cosmic class, in my opinion. No one comes close. It's these 2 guys. Without a shadow of doubt, like, they're just so freaking good. Both Thanos and Serpent are just the cosmic gods. So they are just those 2 in the one above all. All right, let's move on to the Mystic class. So, oh yeah, we also had Isophene. Forgot to mention her. I don't I don't know if I talked about her on one of the last tier lists or not, but here she is. I think it's her debut, and she's landing in the amazing tier. She's all right, you know, decent serpent counter. Nothing special. Nothing special. Mojo got a nice little promotion. Big shout to Andrew the Rough. He's been showing some absolutely insane things with his rank 4 Mojo, which is crazy. Purgatory up in the god tier. Honestly, Purgatory and Mojo, honestly, both have some potential to go higher. I've been impressed by both champions a lot lately. Big shout to Marcus Pack for the Purgatory gameplay lately. He has a video taking Serpent on node 46 with Purgatory, the hardest fight on the war map right now, and, you know, a fight that people are literally basing their bans around, like just banning Serpent counters. So Purgatory, you know, a bit of a under the radar counter to that node, to Serpent, and really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. You know, in our Beyonder tier here, we have the lock champions. Hold on here, Magic. We gotta get rid of the text and just give you the emoji here. There we go. Good old Magic. There. So we have Dr. Doom. You know, just one of the most broken Mystic champions in the game. He would be so crazy as a 7-star, dude. Just the power control, the stats, the challenger rating. Doom is so phenomenal. And I imagine he's going to stay locked as a 6-star for a very long time. Then we have Magic, who's so broken, they won't even release her as a 6-star. Just off the charts broken. We've got Enchantress with the triple shields, one of the strongest defenders in the game, definitely the strongest Mystic defender. Absorbing Man, Rintra, Tigra, and then Symbiote Supreme. Because Symbiote Supreme, man, is a crazy. I got a video of him just destroying every single cosmic champion in Abyss of Legends with ease. Like, Symbiote Supreme, man, he's so disgusting against the cosmic class. You know, very similar like Torch vibes. So, Symbiote Supreme, just such a hard counter to the cosmic class, and especially in Alliance War, dude. Like, Symbiote Supreme's getting banned in Alliance Wars because he's so good. He's so good at countering Serpent, even especially on that node I mentioned, node 46. Symbiote Supreme is just, he's crazy. I love him, and he's so good. He's not going to be the craziest nuke in Battlegrounds. That's not what he's built for. He's not going to be the craziest thing in like a Realm of Legends speedrun. Again, that's not what he's built for. But when you bring him to the fights that he's meant for, he will surpass your expectations. And then we have our 3 spots filled in the one above all with Kushala, Juggernaut, and America Chavez. So, you know, Juggernaut, just one of the most broken champions in game. Just drop your special 2, win the video game, have 10 unstoppable, done. Then we have Kushala, who, you know, is phenomenal. One of my favorite things about Kushala by far is that she can just block unblockable attacks as long as she has her blue spell up, which is incredible. All you have to do is parry to have that and block all unblockables in game. So powerful, so powerful. We have America Chavez, you know, one of the best Serpent counters in the game, easily. Just being able to control that power so well. She hits so freaking hard. The more buffs, the harder she hits. Just crazy champ. That is our Mystic class, looking pretty good. Again, I'm feeling pretty nice about the top end. And we got Spiral and Shothra, you know, 2 great Mystics, 2 great Serpent counters, chilling in the god tier with the homie Sasquatch and Werewolf, 2 big health, shaggy Mystic beasts. Alright, let's move on to the Mutant class. So we had Iceman get a little bit of a promotion. I think the Warhead might have gotten a promotion. Or no, I think I was debating promoting her further. I feel like the Warhead could definitely go to Beyonder tier, but something was holding me back. So I would love your guys' thoughts and opinions and feedback on this champion. Do you think she should go to the Beyonder tier, or do you think she should stay leading the charge in the God tier? Then we have Deadpool X-Force jumped from mid tier, not even actually being listed on the tier list. I just had like Deadpools. This was like red Deadpool, plat pool, gold pool, just, you know, the pools. But Deadpool X-Force, he has broken. We finally, for the first time ever, have a good meta relevant Deadpool in game for the first time ever in the contest, dude, which is great. You know, he's so funny with his Chablis debuffs, which no one in the game's immune to. It's awesome. He's really cool. He's fun. I love the way he runs now. Well, they changed that a while ago, but now that he's actually a viable, playable champion, like, it's just fun. He's silly. He does a little heart when he wins the fight. Like, he's such a meme, and it's great. I really hope Red Suit Deadpool gets some love too, and I really hope we just see more with the Chablis de Bloof and just more Chabloofs in game. Just like Deadpool making stuff up. I'm here for it, bro. I love Deadpool. He's like I think of Deadpool as one of the poster childs, like, for the game. You know, like, Kabam always uses Deadpool in their marketing and stuff. Like, on their live streams, they have Deadpool, point to a sign, be nice, they have a Deadpool behind the camera. You know, like, he's definitely a face of the game. So I want him to be good. I want him to be playable. It's fun, and especially the red version. You know, other champs in the Beyond here, we have Dazzler leading the charge. We got Kitty Pryde locked as a 6-star, along with Archangel and Magneto, also locked as 6 stars. And then we have Onslaught and Mr. Sinister in the one above all tier. I think these are easily the 2 best mutants in the game right now. Just so powerful. And then I'm really excited. We haven't added Jean Grey to this one. That'll be the next month's tier list, her and Bastion. I'm really excited for where Jean Grey is going to land. I think she'll probably be the strongest addition for the 2025 so far. I'm thinking at least God tier. There's definitely probably going to go higher, but yeah, that is our mutant class, how it's looking right now. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the tech class. So we had Arnim Zola leading the God tier charge, and some other champions, you know, just to compare in the God tier. We have Jack-O-Lantern, Guardian, Nimrod, Shocker, all incredible tech champions. You know, I was thinking about all these champions. You know, can they move to that next tier? And then they're close. They're all super good, like straight on the precipice of going to that next tier. Very close. But yeah, then we do have our Beyonder tier, and for the first time out of any of these classes, you know, we've had at least one champion in the one above all tier, but for the first time, there is no one in it for tech. There's not a single champion in this tier. Why? Well, it's simple. I don't think there is a 7-star tech champion in game right now that deserves it. I don't think there is a tech champion strong enough for this tier in game currently. Like, let's look at the 7-star techs. I don't think anyone here is strong enough currently. You know, things could change. We have Ultron here, classic Ultron, as a 7-star guaranteed now. What this means is he's most likely going to be the level 70 reward. We know the level 65 reward is a 6-star. So level 70 must be the 7-star. And I'm really hoping he just gets an incredible, crazy buff. Get a crazy rework. I love the look of this Ultron so much more than the MCU one. So, would love that. We also have Bastion coming out, who I'm hoping is incredible. Maybe he'll be our first one above all in the tech class. But, yeah, man. That's it right now. There is a tech champion that I think could, in the game currently, that could be one above all. But this champion is locked as a 6-star. And that is, you know, Future Ant-Man. I think Future Ant-Man, if he was a 7-star, he 100% would be in the one above all tier. No doubt in my mind. I think Future Ant-Man is currently the strongest tech in game. He's so good, man. He has immunities. He has tankiness. He has regen. He has damage. He has power control. Just, like, man, Future Ant-Man, he's like a perfect tech champion in my eyes. I really want him as a 7-star, so we can populate this tier. At least have one champion. It's sad not having anyone in it, but yeah, I just don't think any one of these champs quite makes it. Bam would if he was a 7-star, but he's not. So I'm leaving it empty, man. Right now, Sentinel, honestly, Sentinel, I was debating putting in this tier. I think Sentinel is so good, but I can't just put him above all these champs. That doesn't feel right. He doesn't feel that good, so I left him in the Beyonder tier, but I'm really liking Sentinel. I think he is absolutely phenomenal after his buff. Very good on attack, great on defense. Just awesome, fun champ now. So yeah, that is our tech class. Let's move on to skill, and as you see, history repeats itself. Again, there's not a single skill champion in the one above all tier. Now, I think skill is the worst class in game currently for 7 stars. I think it's worse than tech. there's just no one here. No one even really comes close. Like there's some tech champs that are close, you know. I feel like Shuri, Red Skull, Prowler, Sentinel are all incredible tech champions. You know, some of them being dual threats as well. It's like, it's so good. Like, they're close to being there, but just don't quite make it. But in the skill class, it's like no one's even close for me. You know, Crossbones is really good, really good, but he's a pure attacker, and I have trouble playing him sometimes, maintaining the Furies. It's definitely not easy. He has the Ninja Cat, but I don't know. I don't feel like Crossbones deserves this tier either. Don't get me wrong, he's really good. I think Crossbones is the best 7-star attacker in game, but I don't think it's enough to warrant the one above all tier. And then, you know, the few champions that would absolutely be in this tier are locked as 6 stars. Again, Kate Bishop, if she was a 7-star, 1,000,000% would be in this tier. Nick Fury, if he was a 7-star, 1,000,000% would be in this tier. 1,000,000 gajillion bajillion percent. If either of these champions ever come out as a 7-star, they're going straight to this tier. You know, and that has always been the biggest problem with the 7-star skill class, is just that so many of their best champs, their bangers, don't exist as 7-stars. Aegon as well. Kingpin is another big one. You know, great skill champ. Valkyrie's another one. Zemo is another one. You know, fun fact, when we were doing the CCP challenges, you know, and I got Stark Spidey added as a 7-star in game, you know, it was actually my idea for us to have a champion be the reward for the challenges. And, you know, I wanted it to be Stark Spidey. So they're like, yeah, we could do that. And then Karate Mike and Fintech were like, okay, well then we should get champions too. And absolutely. And Karate Mike, Spidey 99 was not his first choice. It was Baron Zemo. But Kabam said, Zemo's too powerful to be a 7-star right now. But this was a while ago. I feel like now, I think Zemo could be a 7-star. But yeah, that's just a fun fact, fun story for you guys. You know, we have Black Panther after his buff chilling in the God tier. Black Panther Civil War is great now. You know, he's a good defender now, a better defender, I would say, and much better attacker. He's a little reminiscent of Spot to me with you know, the burst damage on his specials. He's a great champ. Can do a lot of fights. Pretty fast too in battlegrounds. My buddy Zarafa has a rank 4 Black Panther actually, which is pretty cool. Honestly, Black Panther could get promoted. Yeah, I don't know. Black Panther could get promoted. Okoye could get promoted. Let me know. And then, oh yeah, we also have Silver Sable. So Silver Sable got reworked. Or not reworked. She got rebalanced with the balance program. And she was garbage before. Like, she was the worst champion of last year by a country mile. So she could only get better. How much better is she now? I'm really not that sure. This is another one that I definitely need you guys' help on. I'm definitely not the biggest Silver Sable stan, so let me know on that. Do you think she belongs in Amazing tier? Do you think she can go up to God tier? Do you think this was too far? Do you think she should go back down to Solid tier? Let me know. But yeah, guys, that is the entirety of the new and updated 2025 tier list. I'm so glad to finally have knocked this one out. It was a good amount of work, but it was so worth it. I'm really proud of how it's looking, and I know it's only going to look better with all of your guys' help and assistance in the comment section down below. Please don't leave this video without dropping a comment just on something. You know, give me your opinion on any part of the tier list, any rankings, the format, the names of tiers. I want your guys' feedback. I read all comments on tier lists, and you know, I read these comments to then preparation to make the next tier list. So if you want your comment read, this is the video to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I really appreciate it. It's the biggest deal, especially on these tier list videos. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, consider joining the Leg crew. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great, wonderful day. Peace out.